Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you would already know that this week is my birthday week, so I thought it would be a great idea to do a sort of question and answer type video so that you guys can get to know me a little bit better. So on my Instagram, I did post one of those ask me a question things on my story a few days back so that you guys could submit like different messages and questions to me. And you could let me know what exactly you wanted to know more about me. So I chose the most frequently asked questions, and I'll be answering them while I sew myself a top to wear for my birthday dinner, since today is my actual birthday and I'm turning 25 years old, quarter of a century. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to be making myself one of my most popular ready-to-wear styles. It's the cropped Terno wrap top in black. I already cut up my pieces and I'll flash it here somewhere. So basically I have my, I guess like the waist or like tie over pieces, which I have in front of me. I have my front bodice and my back bodice pieces and the Terno sleeves, and I'm gonna show you how I sew it up while I answer some of your questions. So first I'm going to sew up the actual ties. So I can't actually sew and speak at the same time because my machine is pretty loud, but I'll answer the questions like in between the sewing bits, I guess. So I just sewed these up and I'm gonna turn them out with this little tool. So the first frequently asked question was, how did you start designing? And basically, when I was in high school, I was super petite, like, I don't know if you can tell, but when I was in high school, I was barely 100 pounds. So a lot of the stores, like the extra small, was still too big for me, but I was always attending formal events like arts banquet, athletic banquet, and even just dressing up at my church every Sunday morning. So since I couldn't find dresses that I liked that fit me properly, I decided to get myself a sewing machine. Actually, my dad bought it for me, and then just start trying to sew myself dresses that would fit me properly. Now that the waist ties are done, I then sew the bodice pieces together. So I have two front bodice pieces since it's a wrap style, and then my back bodice piece. And the next frequently asked question was, did you go to school for fashion design or sewing? And the answer is yes. I went to Ryerson University here in Toronto for fashion design. It was a 4-year program and I graduated with a Bachelor of Design, and also I minored in, I forget what the actual full name of the minor was, but something to do with entrepreneurship. So my bobbin ran out while I was sewing and I forgot to wind one at the same time as sewing, so I'm gonna fill my empty bobbin. It's gonna sound like this. Do it quieter, I think. Is that too loud? Let me try to do it slower. There you go. And so while I'm winding it, I'll answer the next question that I got a lot, and that was, is Jillian Joy Handcrafted your full-time job? And no, it is not. I do have another job during the day. I'm not gonna say what it is. If you know, you know. It's like a secret. So I work at my day job 4 times a week, and then 1 day a week I focus on my own thing here at Jillian Joy Handcrafted. And every evening I do still sew. So sometimes I'll be at my day job, I'll come home, cook dinner, eat dinner, chill a little bit, and then I'll go back to sewing like my ready-to-wear orders, my custom orders, and special orders and stuff like that. My day job though isn't a design position. It's just like a summer job I used to have when I was studying. And because I got close with the owners, they became very flexible with me and my schedule. So I decided to stay at that position while I focus on my business at the same time. So since I finished sewing up the bodice, the next step would be to iron down the seams, the neckline, and the pleats, and that just makes it look a little bit more professional. And I'll also answer the next question, which I got a lot, which was, What are some of your career goals? Just this new year, I did post like some of my, I guess, short-term goals, if you would consider like 1 year short-term. Or I think for this year I said get to 5,000 followers on Instagram, ship to 3 different countries outside of Canada, and I had one more. I'm gonna have to check to see what that was. In terms of my long-term goals, I always told people that I knew I wanted to do my own business, and once I graduated, my goal was to be able to do my own business full-time after 5 years. I think I graduated in 2018, so kind of like halfway there. I still have time, and I think I'm like pretty much on track. So after the bodice is completed, I then move on to the Terno sleeve. So this is what it looks like flat. I guess little slits or little cuts to indicate where all of my pleats are gonna go. And basically while I sew, I fold the fabric into place based on where my pleat notches are. So now that my sleeves are sewn up, the next thing I'm gonna do is iron the pleats and the edges down so that they're flat. And I'll show you, I already did the first one. This is what it should look like. It's so important to press your pleats and iron the Terno sleeve, because the clean, crisp pleats and lines and shape of the sleeve is what distinguishes it from, let's say, like a general puff sleeve. So while I'm ironing it, the next question that everyone wants to know the answer to is, where did I meet my husband? So Steven is actually one of my older brother's best friends. Growing up, we literally hated each other. It was typical because my brother was older, so I was the younger sister. They were just the annoying dudes who were always hanging out with each other. Literally never had conversations when we were younger. We weren't friends. We didn't start speaking until we were both actually graduated from high school and in school afterwards. And I guess we started speaking because I wanted to learn how to play the acoustic guitar for my church, because we're both on the praise and worship team at my church. And Steven studied music and guitar specifically in post-secondary, so I guess naturally he was the one who helped me learn, and I guess the rest is history. And there is my iron sleeve. Now I have all my separate pieces sewn up. So I have my sleeves, this is my bodice, and I have the waist ties, and I'm going to sew all of the pieces together. So everything is now sewn together, and the last step would be to clean finish it. And to do that, I trim down the excess raw edges in the armhole, and then I finish it off with a organza bias tape. So while I trim it down, I'll answer the last frequently asked question, which was, how did I learn how to sew? So I did mention that I started sewing and designing in high school. So I was, I think grade 10 or grade 11. And my dad bought me my first sewing machine, which was not this machine. This is an industrial brother machine, but I learned using a domestic Singer machine. I'll try to see if I can find a picture of it and flash it. I learned off of YouTube, so I think some of the popular channels I watched at the time for like DIY sewing was Cool Irpa, with Wendy, and I forget, it's like Q2 Han or something like that. And it wasn't until I started studying in university when I learned how to use this industrial machine. So now my top is complete. I have everything sewn together, everything clean finished on the inside, and this is what it looks like. So I put a little bit of makeup on. We're gonna leave for... Nana, I am filming already. So I put a little bit of makeup on. We're gonna leave soon for my patio dinner. I just wanted to show you guys how I'm gonna style my wrap top and like the different ways you can wear it. So here it is. So the classic way to wear it, I guess, would be like a regular wrap. Wrap it around the front, tie it around the back. I want to make it look a little bit more cool, so I'm going to sort of tie it and to make a twist at the front, fit it where I want, tie it as tight as I need to, and then wrap it around the back, and then back around the front. Ta-da! Ready for dinner. Thank you all for watching.